There are so many different instances where movies are put in the mainstream media, showing the reality that we truly live in, knowing that people will just not be able to see it. Hence the movie Eyes Wide Shut. They've literally showed elite satanic initiation rituals within that movie, but no one was aware. Or even like Blink Twice, where they clearly break down on how they traffic people. One of the biggest movies of 2024. And now we have every single TV show that exposed Diddy before he even got arrested. So without further ado, let's get straight into this. And we're also going to see a lot of other shocking videos that you do not want to miss.
Diddy's been getting exposed for decades. From Madagascar exposing Diddy's freak-offs.
This is like a puppy party.
To Boondocks exposing his love for male rappers.
I loved you, man.
Diddy, you nasty.
These are the movies and TV shows that exposed Diddy.
I had no idea.
And first, Diddy and his even creepier friend Dan Schneider made a scene on a Nickelodeon show that aged horribly.
He's still sound asleep. What are we gonna do?
You know, in situations like this, I always ask myself, what would P. Diddy do? P. Diddy?
What's up?
We can't wake up Shane.
Tell you what, take this toy helicopter, put it down his pants.
All right, we'll do it. We'll do. Didn't work. He's still asleep.
Now what kind of gay ass, pedo ass command is that, Diddy? This man been wild since the jump.
Try this.
Shall I? By all means.
Now next up, what if I told you one of the characters in the Madagascar movie is based on Diddy, and nobody noticed it for 20 years? See, in 2005, Chris Rock, who's a famous comedian and has mutual friends with Diddy, signed on to voice the zebra in Madagascar. And at this point, Chris had been hearing horror stories about Diddy for years, so he and the writers teamed up and slipped in a line that exposed Diddy. See, at 36 minutes in, there's a scene where the main character stumbles upon a massive party, hosted by the character King Julian. And at this party, it just so happened to be on an island filled with naked animals dancing on top of each other. Which is when Chris's character says this.
This is like a puppy party.
What kind of zoo is this?
I just saw 26 blatant health code violations.
See, it's been theorized that King Julian is actually based on Diddy. Because for the rest of the movie, King Julian's only goal is to throw parties. And he'll do anything to make that happen, including taking advantage of characters in their sleep.
I don't care. Soon we will put my excellent plan to action. All we have to do is wait until they are deep in their sleep.
He even goes on to hold the main characters hostage until he gets exactly what he wants. But if that wasn't proof enough, the writers even made King Julian a bit fruity.
Come, Maurice, what is a simple bite on the buttocks among friends? Here, give me a nibble.
The party is over, Julian.
Oh yeah, nah.
And by 2010,
Julian was definitely Diddy, 100%.
every writer in Hollywood was exposing Diddy. See, in 2024, official court documents were released to the public, and they revealed that Diddy had slept with several men. But it appears the writers of Saturday Night Live already knew this, because in 2010, Diddy appeared on an episode of SNL playing himself. But during this sketch, Robert De Niro came out dressed as a woman, and it seemed like Diddy was enjoying this a little too much.
What's up, snitches?
It's indeed a pleasure to meet you.
Yo!
And here's where things get even weirder.
Nah, this man
Yeah,
is
don't front on
different.
Blitz. He's spitting high five.
This man is different.
Girl, you the one that's high five. If you wasn't my man's mom, I'd tear that ass up.
Thank you.
Now next up, we gotta talk about the show Hawaii Five-0.
Bro, it comes to a point in time like where your craft and the job that you're doing, you know, there's just certain boundaries that need to be made. Because now both Robert De Niro and Diddy both gay. I don't care if it was acting or not. Y'all both gay. It is what it is.
Because they predicted Diddy would end up in prison 15 years ago. See, in 2011, Diddy wanted to take on a serious acting role, and after begging everyone in the industry for a part, Diddy eventually got cast in an episode of Hawaii 5-0. But the only problem was, the writers didn't like that Diddy was going to be on their show, so they decided to make his character someone who went on the run after being accused of murder. And well, it's hard not to think they were basing the character off of Diddy's real life.
Garrett, I didn't kill him. Maybe I didn't do it. Yeah, I want to believe you, Reggie. Someone else got to Bukai before I could question him. You're asking me to trust you. You need to trust us, or you need to turn yourself in. And then when we clear you, if we clear you, we'll work together. You understand? I can't do that. We only have one chance left to find out how this went down. Hold up, Reggie. You got to think about your kid right now, okay? When the hell you think I'm doing this for? If I don't put an end to this now, Kevin will never be safe. Hey, you can't raise your kid from a prison cell.
Now that wasn't the only time Diddy was exposed in 2000.
Is that the only acting role that he got before? Because that's crazy if it is.
2011, because the TV show Supernatural exposed Diddy's sex addiction years ago. See, when the accusations about Diddy started to pour in, the world started to learn about the term freak off, which is what Diddy used to describe his secret parties that involve some of the most horrifying things imaginable. And in the moment, it seemed to catch everyone by surprise. Well, not everyone, because over 13 years ago, the writers of Supernatural dropped a line in about Diddy's freak-offs. And on top of that, they also decided to slip in a line during an episode exposing Diddy's dark side.
So what kind of thing likes virgins and gold? P. Diddy?
Now look, one TV show exposed that if you date one of Diddy's ex-girlfriends, you're gonna end up dead. See, when court documents were released earlier this year, it was revealed that Diddy was in a relationship with Cassie, and that they hit a rough patch back in 2012. And when the two of them went on a break for a few weeks, Cassie started fooling around with a famous artist, Kid Cudi. But when Diddy found out, he was ready to kill Cudi. So Diddy and a group of men found Cudi's car and allegedly threw a Molotov cocktail inside, blowing it up. Luckily though, Cudi wasn't in the car. But not only that, later the same year, Diddy filmed a scene for the show Blackish, and that's when things got a little too close to reality. Cause Diddy played a gangster who gets jealous of his girl hanging out with another man. And well, knowing what we know now, it's clear in this scene,
Bro,
Diddy was an actor.
And Mary J. Blige is in this film too, which we know from Kim Porter's diary that Kim Porter and Diddy and Mary J. Blige, they all, you know what I'm saying, were in bed together. He's definitely,
later the same year, Diddy filmed
J.
a scene for the show Blackish.
And she's on film at the Freako.
That's when things got a little too close to reality. Cause Diddy played a gangster who gets jealous of his girl hanging out with another man. And well, knowing what we know now, it's clear in this scene, Diddy wasn't acting at all.
What you doing? You trying to make time with my girl?
And I'm sorry, Mr. Savoy. I thought Maribel was your girl.
They all my girls. And if I ever see you talking with my girls again, I'm gonna fill that belly with lead. Now you go pedal some ice, ass boy.
But look, you can't have a freak off all alone. And the writers of The Simpsons realized this too. Because The Simpsons not only tried to warn us about Diddy, but also the people that go to the white parties too. See, for years, The Simpsons have been predicting some of the biggest events in history, like Donald Trump's presidency, the global pandemic, and even the winners of the Super Bowl. But when it came to Diddy, they weren't making a prediction, they were straight up exposing Diddy. Because in 2017, the writers of The Simpsons had never been to a Diddy party, but had heard horror stories for years. So they decided to do an episode exposing Diddy's infamous all-white parties.
Oh, it's a white party, just the kind I used to throw, although we interpreted the theme a bit differently in those days. Whoever is throwing this magnificent to-do knows how to enjoy their wealth.
Yeah, they even said it on a deserted island and referred
that dude probably Clive Davis
to it as a white party. But it gets even crazier, because the guests all looked like people who had been linked to Diddy, like Beyonce, Will Smith, and Flavor Flav. And they had characters doing all sorts of crazy things to show how ridiculous Diddy's parties really were, like strippers on a pirate ship in the middle of a pool and a security guarded private room that only the host of the party had access to. But the writers wanted to make sure the world knew exactly who they were warning us about, because the host of the party is a billionaire rapper who's eerily reminiscent of Diddy.
What did you say?
Mr. Burns and I were just leaving.
Are you Montgomery Burns, the despised billionaire? There's something I've wanted to tell you for a long time, you ruthless monster.
Yeah.
I love you.
With how dangerous we know Diddy is, it's surprising The Simpsons felt comfortable exposing him here. But cartoons in general weren't afraid of Diddy.
I don't know, that I love you was just a little too romantic.
You had shows like The Boondocks exposing his love for other rappers, and Family Guy clowning him for his face. But no one exposed Diddy more than the creators of South Park, because they'll make fun of him any chance they get. In fact, they've made it a point to trash his name in 5 different episodes. But one episode in particular had way more than just jokes. See, for years, people have accused Diddy of setting up the shooting of Tupac, and just 6 months later, when Biggie was assassinated, people thought he was behind that too. So in 2004, South Park aired an episode of Diddy
his ex-wife thought he was behind it too.
Exposing him as a murderer.
Puff Daddy?
Your friend Kyle told me you don't understand the importance of voting. Apparently you haven't heard of my Vote or Die campaign.
Vote or die? What the hell does that even mean?
What you think it means.
But in 2024, there was one final movie to warn the world about Diddy. Now before we get into all of that, this video is only possible because of our sponsor Kalshi. See, Kalshi is the only—
Hey family, smash the like button, comment down below any thoughts or opinions that popped into your mind thus far. You guys already know I enjoy reading the comment section.
Just a month before his arrest, it was exposed exactly how Diddy tortures his victims in the movie Blink Twice. See, in August 2024, Blink Twice hit the box
wild
office,
movie,
which follows a billionaire who invites women to his private island, where they spend the entire weekend doing drugs and partying. But as the movie progresses, some of the women start acting weird and others slowly disappear. It's revealed the billionaire had been drugging the women with perfume. Now this movie was made before any of the news about Diddy broke, including the recent news about Diddy allegedly using baby oil to drug his victims during freak-offs. But how could the filmmakers have known about this? Well, when you look into who directed the movie, it all starts to add up. Because as it turns out, Zoe Kravitz, the daughter of legendary musician Lenny Kravitz, was the director. And if you look into Lenny's past, you'll find that not only did he party with Diddy all the time, but they even made music together. So it all makes sense that Zoe, who spent her entire life around her father, would know all of Diddy's secrets. And Zoe's not the only one who started to speak out. Diddy's entire empire has begun to crumble. It's hard to say exactly how Diddy's trial will go in May, but one thing's for sure, every secret he's got isn't going to be so secret for long.
Go wear no dress until they offered him the dress, and then he put it on. And what did he say after he wore it? I made my own decision. Duh. But you didn't make it before they brought it up, did you? It's okay.
Wow. And I'm not gonna lie, family.
No dress until they offered him the dress, and then he put it on. And what did he say after he wore it? I made my own decision. Duh. But you didn't make it before they brought it up, did you? It's okay.
Family. Yeah, I know that it was like 2 weeks ago when I posted that one video, quote unquote, allegedly exposing how Michelle Obama was a man. There were so many different clips of something dangling in her pants whenever she was dancing and walking. There was other people, elite people, talking about how she is a transgender man. She used to be named Michael, Big Mike. You know, she could be built in some videos. But I don't know, this scene right here kind of gives it more confirmation. Because obviously these two right here would be technically considered transgender. But it's just so interesting how they have her sitting right next to these two transgenders. It's like they're kind of playing a game on us because there's a great possibility they could all be transgenders. Why they take that video down? They took it down for harassment, bro. I didn't say nothing. I said, yo, it's alleged. But us as a family, we gonna put our thinking caps on and see whatever way it really leans to. Let's continue though. They violating the whole industry. Craziest part is that they doing lipstick and all. The whole nine. Diddy? Yeah, nah, he's 100% cooked. 100% cooked.
toxic foam has covered a large river in India. The froth is caused by pollution and comes as the air quality level in New Delhi went down to poor today. It contains high levels of ammonia and phosphates, which can cause respiratory and skin problems. India's capital is one of the most polluted cities in the world. This isn't the first time that that has appeared on the Yamuna River.
This is the kind of water we got in California.
Water in Los Angeles. Bro, Los Angeles is a crazy place, to say the least. I remember I've been there one time, and then downtown it was just horrific. It's like death.
The water in Florida, well, Miami.
The Miami water clean, I know it is. Yes, sir.
There is something really sketchy within my Tesla. I didn't know this before, but I just realized that there's a camera within my cabin, and it's sort of camouflaged right here, right above the rearview mirror. Now, if we go on Tesla's website, it says that the cabin camera can determine driver inattentiveness and provide you with audible alerts to remind you to keep your eyes on the road when autopilot is engaged. It also goes on to say, by default, images and videos from the camera do not leave the vehicle itself and are not transmitted to anyone, including Tesla, unless you do enable data sharing. I don't know, do you trust Elon Musk to not gather information from inside of your Tesla? It sounds pretty sketchy to me.
Bro, that's some BS. They're literally placing cameras any place they can possibly do it. They have the cameras on our phone. They literally have the cameras on the front of our phone, and there's like 2 other sensors in the front that I believe tracks your eyes and it tracks your facial expressions. So as you're scrolling on Instagram or something, they can tell if you smile and how you reacted to that video, so they know when to have another similar video pop up. It's insane how far it's getting. But this dude, Elon Musk, he's going really, really far. He's a genius, bro. You know what I'm saying? He knows how to create things with whatever things he taps into. He just knows how to create technology to another level. And now they're adding cameras inside of the car. So that's another part of your life that you no longer have privacy.
Daytime and evening. That's real, like, there's no filter, guys. No.
That's wild.
From information I received while using a Ouija board, I believe that there will be an attempt to assassinate you. The spirit that gave me this information was Brian Epstein.
No way. That was John Lennon? Hold up. How did John Lennon die? The Ouija boards, they tap into some crazy spirits.
Oh my god, so many.
Waymo ride? Now, why in the world would you let nobody drive you?
I really do not like Hollywood. It is not for me. The business really scares me. I understand that I'm a part of that business and I enjoy my kind of interactions with it. But that said, I am always looking for ways to kind of remove myself from it, to kind of just live as normal a life as possible. Today, doing this is a very rare thing for me to do. Yeah, I definitely think it has been an ongoing thought, which is don't lose yourself. I've seen so many people come before me and lose themselves, and I've had friends that I've grown up with that aren't friends of mine anymore because they've lost themselves to this business. And I just am really, really keen to focus on what makes me happy, which is my family, it's my friends, it's my carpentry, my golf, the charity that my mum runs. Like, that is the stuff that makes me really happy, and that's the stuff that I should protect. My relationship is the thing that I keep most sacred. I don't talk about it. I try my best to keep it as private as possible. We both feel very strongly that that is the healthiest way for us to move on as a couple. So I do try to keep as removed from it as possible. Like, you'll never see me at an award show that I don't have to be at. I'm never going to a red carpet event that I'm not in the film of, you know? I don't want the attention when I don't need it.
You watch your TV, but with this hack, your TV can watch you. Show us how that works.
So one of the things that we were able to do with the Smart TV platform was actually abuse the browser to the extent that we could actually gain access to the camera that's built into the TV.
Right.
And so what we can prove here is that with a little bit of extra code, we can turn the camera on in your browser.
Wow.
And while this is evident to you right here because we've designed it that way, this is something that we can do invisibly and actually have the camera running behind the web page that you're looking at.
So what this means is I could be sitting here watching TV from my bedroom, and you could be anywhere in the world looking at this image of me watching.
Yep, I could be sitting on a laptop in a cafe in Paris, and as long as I have a network connection, I'd be able to get into your TV and access the camera.
The kind of scary things about it is that it doesn't actually give any indication that the camera's on, and there is no little LED that shows up when the camera's on. So it could actually be watching you and you'd never even know.
What is a smart TV, and why is it a play?
When did smart TV start having cameras? Does your TV have a camera? What the heck?
Playground essentially for hackers.
Right. It's a computer. So instead of just being, a tube and some other electronics, now it has a web browser and it has, a lot of devices are running Linux.
But the real danger is when people start using smart TVs for things like online banking, we can take a popular bank address and translate that into...
Oh, dang. When I research, hold up.
We can take a popular bank address and translate that into...
When I research a historical figure and I see this pose again. Napoleon. Oh, that's the symbol for the Masons. The hidden hand. Escape from Unwished Island. What y'all think? You think that's a coincidence? Epstein Island. Doesn't look good. This is exactly what I mean. They put it right in front of our face.
Following is a revised video on the Bill Gates funded Organapeel edible coating that's approved for use on organic produce. I've come to my senses after a partly false warning immediately appeared on my recent reel. Here's what I should have posted. Natural organic food is just too organic and natural. I would advise adding a man-made coating to consume along with your organic produce, and you should look for these qualities. 1, it should increase shelf life, so a cheaper price. And cheap should always be your first consideration. Number 2, it should be registered with the EPA as a pesticide, basic tenet of the organic label. And 3, make sure the full ingredients that make up your coating are not fully disclosed. That's important to anyone who shops organic. Also, the labeling required by the EPA on this coating cautions the produce suppliers or distributors who apply the coating to your produce to wash thoroughly with soap and water after handling and before eating, drinking, chewing gum, using tobacco, or using the toilet. So be sure and wash your hands after touching it, then go ahead and eat the coating. Let me just close this new and improved reel on Organapeel with my thanks to brilliant minds like Bill Gates for never-ending efforts to improve our food supply.
Man, Bill Gates, a low-key, high-key demon. He done bought up all the farms, not 100%, but a large portion of them, so he can have control over all the manufacturing of the foods, so he can control the pesticides, the chemicals that the mass majority of people eat, and then essentially actually end up controlling their brain, because chemicals could definitely affect how your brain actually works. Oh, snap.
Guys, this is a bit scary. No wonder Elon Musk gave this video an exclamation mark.
This is footage from a coffee shop using AI to monitor its employees. The blue text with white letters indicates each employee, and the number shows how many cups of coffee they've made. You can see that an employee named Anna is working diligently, making a total of 20 cups. Meanwhile, Olga is hiding in the corner, slacking off, and has only made 3 cups. All of this is tracked by the AI, which then reports the findings to the boss. In Amazon warehouses, similar technology is used to monitor employees. They even allow AI to generate termination notices for workers with low productivity. But it doesn't stop there. Before long, everything around us, from cars to ships to our daily lives, could fall under AI surveillance. Everything will be tracked, monitored, calculated, and analyzed. If you're wondering what AI is really capable of, well, this is your answer.
That's insane.
Oh, we're down here. About 3
the
hours.
CEO's not giving you to fire people anymore. You're gonna get a. Imagine getting a letter telling you you're fired from a damn robot, and you can't do nothing about it. That is horrible.
Hours from my house, and trying to go into some underground tunnels under this city. Oh wow, this is it.
Comment down below.
Would
you go in there?
But we can get through.
If you found a tunnel, would you go inside of it?
Whoa. There's a ladder that goes up. Oh. Okay, we gotta get up there. Oh.
Yeah, hell nah. Not me.
Oh, that's too creepy. Somebody kept their child in here, it looks like.
Not me.
Desperate time.
Hold up. That's the scariest thing I've ever seen. We gotta first figure out what this place even is for. Is it a prison?
Nah, firstly, you need to get your ass back and go home.
Ooh. This place is like a hospital.
What the heck?
Former worker at a food processing plant posted footage on TikTok.
That's actually very disturbing. How it seemed like an underground tunnel connected to a hospital. There's probably so many underground tunnels that connect to different buildings like malls, hospitals, and schools that we're just very unaware of.
Allegedly showing how plastics and other waste was being mixed in with pig food.
This is waste from different businesses. They all going in here, up the line to the grinder. They grind it out and turn it into
Emmanuel Moore was a certified maintenance technician at one of Smithfield Foods' feed processing plants. In the footage posted to TikTok, Moore shows what he says are piles and piles of old, moldy food still in its packaging being ground up, shredded, and put into pig feed.
This is what it looked like when it's done. They send this stuff off to be eaten by the hogs, and then the hogs, and then we eat them. I felt like I had to tell the world, I've never seen nothing like this. This can't be, legal.
Feeding retail waste to animals is called garbage feeding, and it is legal in 27 states. But when it comes to putting packaging materials in the food,
plastic and all, don't even matter. Plastic, cardboard boxes, pallets.
The legality is less clear. A 2004 publication from the Association of American Feed Control Officials does list plastics as one of the substances legally used in animal feeds.
Plastics.
But in 2018, the AAFCO said that recovered retail food intended for use in animal feed must not contain packaging materials like plastics, glass, and metal, among others. Some say garbage feeding prevents food waste and lowers costs, but others wonder whether those benefits are worth the risk of disease transmission and plastic contamination.
Eva Mendes is getting absolutely dragged in.
And that's exactly why I do my best just to stay away from pork. Because you don't know what they're feeding. That's like one of the few animals that could literally just eat straight garbage and still come out fine. But at the end of the day, their cells are going to be mad at the garbage, and then you end up eating it, and then it's just bad.
Comment section right now after making this Instagram post. What was the post about, you might ask? Well, it's pretty simple. She was calling on Kellogg to remove harmful artificial food dyes from the cereals sold in the United States. She was citing a food blogger named Vani Hari, also known as the Food Babe, who pointed out that the US version of Fruit Loops has a bunch of artificial food coloring in it, red 40, yellow 5, blue 1, yellow 6, yada yada, whereas the Canadian version doesn't have those artificial food dyes in it. They use other things to color the Fruit Loops, such as you can see here, concentrated carrot juice, watermelon juice, blueberry juice, so much more, I would say, natural food coloring ingredients. perfectly reasonable, I think, to question why Kellogg's is selling the most toxic version of the same product in America, but not in other countries. But this triggered quite the backlash in our comment section with a bunch of people, namely nutritionists and PhDs.
Well, the thing is that Canada does that. It probably costs more money. Living in America is just capitalism on steroids. If they're able to do it with the yellow 40, you know what I'm saying, the red 40, whatever it's called, at a lower price point, so that they make much more money on their sales, they're gonna do that. Because Americans at this point, bro, there's so many people that are unaware and really don't care. They drink, you know what I'm saying, all different kinds of sodas, cereals, whatever it is. They don't care. Yo, if the people don't care, why are they gonna care? It is what it is, bro. We just have to be more intentional what we eat.
And quote-unquote experts saying that the Food Babe is not a legitimate source, that she's spreading tons of misinformation. So I looked into this a little bit, and there's something you should know about these experts. For example, Dr. Andrea Love. She says, "Hi, Ava Mendez. These ingredients aren't banned whatsoever, and they have been deemed safe across the entire planet. The Food Babe is not a credible source of information on these topics at all." Well, this is Dr. Andrea Love. She's got all the right credentials. She's an immunologist, microbiologist, decades and decades of experience in training and clinical research, yada yada. But she's also, if you could see here, a columnist for a nonprofit called the Genetic Literacy Project. If you do a little bit of digging, the Genetic Literacy Project has been outed as a PR front for Monsanto, Bayer, and the chemical industry. This is their IRS Form 990, where they have to disclose where they get all their money from. You see here at the top of the list, number one, biggest contributor, $100,000, Bayer. A little bit of conflict of interest.
Hey, bruh. Crazy video. Definitely a very packed video. What do y'all think? Comment down your thoughts about the entire situation when it comes to movies that reveal, you know, the reality, you know, hidden truths that not many people are aware of, or even P. Diddy and everything that he's done within, you know what I'm saying? Just everything he's done and how he's been revealed to act. Comment it down below. Smash the like button, subscribe, turn on post notifications. I'm going to catch you guys in the next video. Peace.